Welcome to Wonderful Beauty, your new K-pop haven.
We're Aiden and TJ, just your friendly second and third generation Nuna and Young, here to discuss random K-pop related topics.
With over 2 decades of friendship between us, we're invited you on a nostalgic journey through the evolution of K-pop, from the iconic groups of the past to the hot stars of today. We'll share our unfiltered opinions, hilarious anecdotes, and insider knowledge.
So grab your favorite snacks, hit play, and let's dive into the world of K-pop together.
All right. This will be my second favorite episode. So if you listen to the Beast podcast, this will be a continuation of it, since, as I have mentioned before, Beast has left Cube and formed their own company, and they became Highlight. And there's a huge history behind it, which I briefly mentioned in the Beast podcast.
Yes, so a couple things before we start. One, I'm going to be honest with our listeners. I am more familiar with Highlight than I am with Beast. Mm-hmm. So this is not 100% a blind watch for me, because 2 of the songs that Anne is introducing I actually do know and I'm very fond of. Mm-hmm. Also, as you guys noticed, my shelf is barren today. This is where all my Keyquan photo cards would be if Anne had gone through her albums like she said she was going to and sent me all of the Keyquan that she had.
Nope, I am a procrastinator. Especially when it comes to digging through older albums.
So unfortunately, I have nothing to join us today, but we do have Moonbin and Sungkwan here who will be joining us for this episode.
They're like, we're not even related to this.
Right.
Yeah, so today we're going to do a semi-blind watch, I guess, for TJ. And I'm going to give a little bit of history of Highlight, how they came to be, maybe a couple fun facts. But I think this is just to kind of show how Highlight / Beast, how they grew through the years, because they're one of the oldest groups that's still in the K-pop scene. If you're also including Super Junior, I guess Taeyang from Big Bang. He did release a new album. I heard G-Dragon's also coming back too, which I'm super excited about. I'm not sure if Big Bang as a whole will come back together, but I do like how Highlight as a group, they've done their research and kept up with the music trends, I would like to say. Because music has changed through the years, especially if you're comparing it back to, 2009.
Yeah. I'm hoping since we're evolving and we're going forward and they're a third generation group, right?
They're second gen.
Well, Highlight, not Beast.
Oh, Beast? Ooh, God. I think they're considered almost end of third, beginning of fourth gen, maybe? Because they were formed in 2017. Would that be
so they'd be tail end of third with Blackpink.
Yeah. So I mean, but even then, you're thinking about it this way. They've been in this industry for 15 years, but if you want to not count the years they are on hiatus because of military service, about 12-ish years. That's still a long time.
I'm just hoping that we'll see a lot of less cringeworthy moments, because if you guys remember from the Beast video, I reacted more positively than Anne did, and I did react negatively to a couple of things.
Yeah.
But Anne was dying from secondhand embarrassment, and you could tell that she's been listening to the songs over the years, but she hasn't revisited those music videos in a long time.
No. I would like to say, though, my sister Carrie, she's also a beauty. When I mentioned how, I did mention this in the previous podcast, and I will mention this again, how recently Highlight has retained the rights to the Beast name from Cube. I don't know how that settlement went, but they reached a settlement for it. My sister broke out like, every night I shock. I was like, oh my God, no, please don't. Those are the dark days.
Which is funny because that's the song that I added to my playlist
I
during
know,
the last
right?
episode.
Yeah, but it's like you said, Shock was similar to how it was Monster X's Trespass. It's a more darker
Correct.
feel. It was more up your alley. It's not like Bad Girl where it's
Or wipe
in your
your
face.
tears.
Oh my god. You did mention though that you stumbled upon AJ's dancing shoes.
I did, and I saw the thumbnail, and I said, "What in the all holy hell is this young lady?"
And I said I didn't want to show you that. I mean, it's a good song for its time too. It's very catchy, but I didn't want to show you that because it did not feature the other Beast members at the time, which it was a whole connection to it and everything. But you should watch it though on your own free time, TJ.
Oh, why? So you can't see my reaction and get secondhand embarrassment again?
Yeah, I might die. You're gonna watch this when we're in the flight in Chicago, are we?
No, I'm gonna wait till we're in our Airbnb, and I'm gonna cast it to the TV, and I'm gonna make you
No.
watch it with me. And I want to
Me
see the look on
screaming.
your kids. I want to see the look on your kids' face when they just look over at you and they're like, "This is what you like."
You were
Oh,
only
God,
a year old.
Ashley.
You wouldn't know anything. Oh no, Ashley.
Our non K-pop friend who's gonna be there. She may abandon us.
She already saw how embarrassing it was when we were dancing around for 17 for my bachelorette trip, and now you're gonna show this?
I mean, she's gonna watch us do the 17 episode anyways, so.
I mean, again, she's there to enjoy us, which is good because I haven't seen her. Well, we both haven't seen her in a good while. I did see her recently when she swam by for a little bit in August, but that was
I haven't seen her
10
since
minutes.
the wedding.
Wow, that's been a while then. It's been a
Yeah,
while.
well, you know how it is when I travel. I come in for like a day or two, and then I go back to San Antonio.
Mm-hmm. And also, our friend Ashley that we keep mentioning, she is also a travel nurse. She's currently in Ohio, I believe. And luckily, with the timing, with everything, her contract will just end the weekend before the 17 concert. And I did mention how, we're going to Chicago for it. She's like, I'll meet you up there. You need an Uber? I'll be your Uber. So that is going to save us a ton of money too. So we're grateful for her. All right, so let's give a little brief history of Highlight. Now, this is more recent, so, and there's not much of a history of it because it seems like most of the history is obviously with Beast. But yeah, I'll just give a quick rundown of it before we start doing the semi-blind watches. After their departure from Cube, and because of copyright issues, they formed Highlight under Around Us Entertainment, which is founded by all 5 members at the time.
Okay.
Of Beast. For a while, their fan club is called Undetermined because they couldn't pick a name because they really thought at the time with the legal fight against Cube, they were able to get the name back. But I think it was after, yeah, so I think it was like maybe about like, I want to say 6 months to a year, they realized this is going to be like a long battle. They were not reaching an agreement, that sort of thing. They just kind of jokingly were like, you're the Undetermined fan club. Woo!
I think they should have kept it. It would have been unique.
Yeah, I know. That would be really hilarious, actually. It's just a blank. But officially, after, I think this is like after a year or so, and they realized that, they will never reach a settlement for Cube. And under Highlight, they named their fan club officially as Light, which expresses how fans are like a light that is always next to Highlight and shining a light on the group. And then, of course, as the years progressed and everything, Yeon Jung-hyun left the group in March of 2019 because of the Burning Sun scandal. And then the magnate of the group, Highlight, Son Dong-woo, he kind of recently, announced his marriage to a non-celebrity of June 2023. So that's pretty cool and really hilarious because I really thought that Doojun, the leader, would get married first. I guess he didn't try hard enough. But anyway, congrats to Dongwoon, though. Sorry.
You said that so calmly and plainly, like he was the disappointment son of your family, and you're just used to it.
Well, no, here's the thing. So I don't think I've mentioned this in the Beast episode, but for the longest time, Doojun he had the title of being the nation's boyfriend because he was very gentlemanly towards like girls. Like they notice that that's his trait, and then he always acts like that ideal boyfriend that all girls would want. So he gained that title through like variety shows, talk shows, that sort of thing. So the fact that he has that title back then and he's still not married, what are you doing wrong? You're old now. You're older than us.
And for our listeners, in case you're curious, the person who actually dethroned him is currently Eric Nam. He is known
Yeah,
as the nation's boyfriend.
exactly. But back then, I think he gained that title in 2010 or 2011 is when when Beast hit that peak of fame, and then they did all these like variety shows and everything. Dushin was the nation's boyfriend, but it's now Eric Noms. So Eric, don't fail me now.
Everyone's still hoping that you get married to Solar. We're all waiting for it still.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, man. If y'all don't know, like if you're the new generation of K-pop fans, no shame at all, but y'all don't know K-pop until you saw We Got Married. That was a wild ride, and I loved every moment of it.
Yeah. And it's funny because I remember that you were so shocked because neither Solar nor Eric ever mentioned their time on that show because they're both embarrassed by it. But Eric
Yeah.
mentioned it. I think it was on the Kelly Clarkson show actually.
Oh
And
yeah.
you were like, wait a second, are you bringing up the dark days? Are you bringing up my favorite time between you and Solar?
Yes, exactly. I mean, I think because I wasn't into Mamamoo at the time either. So her and him being on We Got Married kind of helped me get into Mamamoo as well, because of course they did feature the other girls on there because they had to do like whole, introduction, that sort of thing. But because of Solar being quote unquote married to Eric Nam, it definitely helped, open the door of being like, oh, she's in this group. Ooh, their songs are really good, that sort of thing. It's all that connection. So
If you haven't seen their episode of One Take yet, you really need to watch it.
it's so good. I love that.
It's so good. That's the only one I've watched. I
Mm-hmm.
was gonna go back and watch Rain's episode because, of course, it's Rain, but
Mm-hmm.
I refuse to pay for Netflix. So
Yeah. Oh, wow. It's okay. But going back to a little bit of the history of Highlight, this is the one that I also mentioned in the previous podcast, is that in April 2024, they regained the trademark rights to Beast from Cube, which allowed them to hold the concert Lights to Go On Again and to perform the old Beast songs and name once again. So I did mention in the past that they were able to perform Beast songs, but they can't say the word Beast in it. So their trademark of their songs would be So Beast. But because they can't say that, because it's, you know, owned by Cube at the time, they can't say it. So they just kind of left that in the blank in the song, but they can still sing the songs. Going back to the concert name, Lights Go On Again, that is actually one of their songs in the past. I forgot which album it was, so sorry. But it kind of reflects how, because they got this, the lights will go on again for Beast. So it's like this huge like circle connection to it. So that was very nice. And as a beauty, my heart was super, super happy.
which, of course, Lights Go On Again is the name of their movie that's coming out as well.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, us in America, it looks like we're not going to get it. So if there are any
Yeah.
Korean lights or beauties and they release it on DVD, and is more than happy to accept donations.
Yeah, I know, right? I'll take it. Please give it to me. Yeah, I guess Highlight is just not as popular here, which is very, very sad, but it's okay. I'll deal with it. I'll just deal with it on my own. But yeah, so let's go to the semi blind watches. I don't know if TJ has seen this, but this is actually Highlight's debut, which is titled Please PLZ Don't Be Sad. So this is their official debut song as Highlight, and it's vastly different from their last song from Beast. So I put this in the previous podcast that their last song with Beast was Ribbon. A little bit, melancholy, a little bit sad,
Right.
and all these things. Obviously, this song is much more upbeat. And I assume because they broke away from Cube, they get to try new sounds in a sense, and also promoting the fact that they're in a new group, so they need like, you know, a refresher, that sort of thing, a different image. To note though, their last upbeat song as Beast was Yay, and that was back in 2015. So if you compare it to back then to this current time, it's about a good 2 years. So in those 2 years, it's doom and gloom, all sad. Great songs. So sad. So I think that was their last upbeat song. So this is like a great, you know, fresh air and everything. Please don't be sad. It's more upbeat with a positive message in the lyrics to cheer up and smile just a bit more. And while the song itself and concept brings out the youth in them, their vocals have definitely matured, and it shows shows Highlight in a new way.
I'm excited considering our first video was again wipe your tears. So
and this is more with the times.
It's kind of ironic. We started with wipe your tears, and now we're on please don't be sad.
Oh no! Wait, didn't realize it until now. Oh no! Oh no!
All right, let's go.
All right, let's go.
This is already completely different from everything I've watched during Beast. not like to make fun of them, but it's like the sound is so different already.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And again, I think this kind of it's a bad thing that Cube kept Beast and everything, but this definitely helps them in pushing to a new sound, much more brighter, different, you know.
무슨 일이 있냐는 나의 말에 괜찮다며 고개도요 너의 눈보라만 보는 내 안에는 무너져내려 이게 내쉬는 한숨이 내 맘을 찢어 난 나의 빛이 될게 그림자가 더 좋아 이제 그 천사 같은 얼굴에 작은 상처 하나로 너에게 생기지 않기를 원해 너의 슬픔조차도 나에게 모두 맡겼으면 해 my baby 얼굴 좀 말아요 baby 너는 내게 더 예뻐 그렇게 슬픈 표정하지 말아요 널 보면 내 맘이 너무 아파 찌푸리지 말아줘 숨기지 말고 내게 말해줘 아무 말 없이 널 안아줄게 내 품 안에서 네 상처가 아물 수 있게 내 아름다운 것만 담아주고 싶어 예쁜 두 눈에 미소만 짓게 해줄게 그 입술에 난 나의 빛이 될게 그림자가 더 좋아 이제 그 천사 같은 얼굴에 작은 상처 하나로 너에게 생기지 않기를 원해 너의 슬픔조차도 나에게 모두 맡겼으면
Oh my God. Okay, first I was laughing because of him kicking the arcade machine, but that face right there.
It's all of us every time we play a video game.
The reason that I actually paused is I want to say that I like that their vocals and sound has matured, but I like that they are still such a cheesy group with their choreography and everything. And they're like, we may be Highlight, but we are still Beast.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're like, you want some variety skills? We'll show you variety skills.
Right. And I also really, really like how colorful this is versus that monochromatic black and white that we got with their original debut under Beast.
Yeah, exactly.
Not my baby. Oh, wow. I'm just now looking at the captions.
Oh, no. You're too focused on their faces.
그렇게 내
Oh, yeah.
안에서 행복하길 원해 날 지킬 수만
I'm sorry, is this the UFO ending to Silent Hill? What is happening right now?
Because you were playing Silent Hill today. I knew. Just kidding.
Oh, man.
있다면 아깝지 않은 세상마저도 부르지 말아요 너는 게더 예뻐 그렇게 슬픈 표정하지 말아요 널 보면 내 맘이 너무 아파 그래 그렇게 날 보면 있어줘 그 예쁜 얼굴 찌푸리지 말아줘
Yeah. So what do you think?
That was good. I like that one.
It's so cute. It's so upbeat, but it also shows, if you were to compare it back to Bees, how far they've gone vocally. Like they've grew so much.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, like I mentioned, I like that you could tell that they have matured as far as vocalists and as artists, but they wanted to make sure that you knew that they were still the second gen cheesy group as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I think this would be around the time they're around 27, 28. So I kind of like this where they're showing how they're kind of like older men, like they're almost like ajishis without being ajishis, you know, like
Right.
the little cheesy like choreography to it. Like it's simple without being too much. Like, you know how groups these days, their choreography is like intense, it's hard, you know, complicated. Theirs is like, we're just here.
Yeah, with their little that they
Just as
did.
simple as possible. As simple as possible.
Of course, my only slight complaint is it needed more Kikwan, because I don't know if I mentioned it in the first episode. Kikwan is of my bias, but I didn't discover him through Beast and Highlight. I actually discovered him through his solo album Predator, and then who's my favorite character in Marry My Husband.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Because I remember watching it, and I sent a screenshot to you, and I was like, wait, why does this guy look so familiar? And you're like, oh, that's Kikwan, your bias from Highlight. And I was like, oh, okay. And then you started watching like a week later, and you're like, I knew Kikwan was in it, but I remember he came on screen. I was like, oh, look, it's Kikwan.
Yeah, I know. I totally forgot about that. And I also keep forgetting how they did put Kikwan out at first when they were back in Cube, for him to be an actor as well. So
Okay.
he was in this huge sitcom back then called High Kick Through the Roof, I believe. So it's like their second season / arc, I guess, of the High Kick series. And I forgot, it's such a long time ago. I know he plays the son of someone, and he like fell in love with some teacher or something like that. I don't remember what it is, but it's a really funny sitcom show, and it kind of helps him push out the Beast name and at the same time show his a little bit of like newbie acting skills type of thing. But as a sitcom, you know, it's easier to get into that than like full on K-drama that where he is right now with Marry My Husband.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
It's kind of, I like learning that kind of stuff going on, because we were actually talking about before we started recording. There are so many idols that we don't realize are actors as well.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were specifically talking about Moonbin and how like he was like 18 when Astro debuted, but he started out as like 4 or 5 years old in Boys Over Flowers.
Yes, exactly.
Where he was the flashback kid version of the main character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know there's this thing that went around with TikTok, Instagram Reels, whatever, where they show like just a compilation of idols turning to actors or actors turning to idols type of deal. And it's a lot. The list is actually very, very huge. Not many people just realize it, because what you see on stage as a K-pop idol compared to probably like, you know, less makeup, less stand out-ish as actors and actresses, it's like a 180, you know, it's completely different.
Well, and then on that note as well, it's amazing how many actors are actually idols as well.
They can sing.
Or just not even full-blown idols, because I know like Park Shin-hye, I apologize if I said that wrong, I apologize. She's my favorite actress. I should know her name. But I know that she was signed under JYP or YG for a while as an idol.
Yeah.
And then a lot of actors like have minor singing careers, like Kim Mingyu from Snowdrop and Business Proposal. He can sing. Who else? Everybody in Korea is talented. We'll just go with that.
Yeah, I think also Kim Soo-hyun the Queen of Tears guy.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because I know he's in different dramas before, but the breakout for him would be Dream High. And obviously that whole show is all about singing, and JYP has a hand in it. He came out with like some singles for the OST for the show, and he can sing. He can really sing.
Yeah, it's really easy to probably if you like a main character or side character in a drama, there's a very high chance that they sing as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like I'm gonna butcher this name and I apologize, but like An Hyo Sup from Business Proposal.
Yeah, I forgot about him.
Apparently, he had a whole fan meeting tour where he sang.
That's all they do is they just sing.
Yeah.
That's the fan service fans want.
You get the best of both worlds there. I mean, again, we mentioned before that Kim Mingyu, not 6'2" Calvin Klein model Kim Mingyu,
Mm-hmm.
but Business Proposal Kim Mingyu actually trained with 17 for about a month or two.
Oh yeah, right. Just briefly.
But anyways, because you know how we are about rants, guys, we will just go completely off topic.
All right. So this next one, again, I'm not sure if TJ knows about this music video. So this is their video that is in song before they all enlist into the military service,
Okay.
which catapults to them being having this 2 to 3 year hiatus, because their plan was to kind of go around the same time, which makes things a lot better for fans, because I would hate to be a carrot currently, and knowing that 17 as a whole will not get together until like maybe like 6 or 7 years, because they don't plan on going together at the same time. They just want to back to back almost type of deal. This song, Loved, you may notice in the music video and the song that Doojun is actually absent in this. That's only because at the time of recording the song, he was already enlisted. The song came out in November 2018. I believe he enlisted in August of that same year. So 3 months prior. They did, however, manage to get Doojun's solo track on that album. It's called Nightmare. It's a really good song. Onto that, and that's the only feature he has on that album. This is considered to be their last song and album before everyone listened to the mandatory military service. Because of this move, they actually do not promote with the usual music shows. So they only released the album. They posted up, I believe, like a practice choreography video. I don't know if they even did a fan chant video or not. They just released it, and then they were like, deuces, we're out, we're going to the military. Which is so sad, because this song is so good. I wish they had the time to promote it. Loved gave a bit of feel of the old B sound, similar to what I believe is close to Ribbon and 12:30. Now you didn't hear 12:30 in the previous podcast, but when you listen to this, you're gonna be like, oh, it has that type of Ribbon feel to it as well. The EDM choral drop and violin riffs gives the song a newer vibe while incorporating the old sound of Beast, which makes the song just much more emotional because of the timing and the lyrics.
Wait, hold on. You said EDM choral drop. Is this going to be like Vix's Error?
No, I believe this is much... You'll listen to it and you'll understand what I'm trying to say, but I think this is much more... They're trying to be upbeat about it with the EDM, but the sound of it's still really sad. It's like Ribbon is what I'm trying to compare it to.
Okay, I was just gonna say, because the video for Vix's Error destroyed me. So
no, this will not destroy you, I promise you. This is more of like those... It's like Ribbon in the sense of like, you can tell this is like the end, but it's not the end, because they did release this before their military service. They even named this album Outro. Because they're taking their leave.
Which, just for anyone who's watching or listening, there's a little bit of foreshadowing in that sentence that she said about what's coming up. Go away. It's already sad. Okay, wasn't expecting that opening note. 그림 하늘에 떠오른 그대가
맘을 들춰내고 떠날줄게 너라는 조각에 기억을 맞춰줘 마지막엔 결국 네가 필요해 죽도록 하기 싫은 걸 참기 힘든 걸 하게 했으니까 달래야 될 수 없는 네가 내게서 떠나갔으니까 아픈 건 그대가 해줘 슬픔은 조금이라도 난 너가져 나 지금 미쳐버리니까 너 없이 난 되는다니까 네가 믿고 또 미워 그립고 그리워 잊혀지긴 싫어 내게 돌아와 지나온 나를 거꾸로 세면 날 볼 수 있을까 참 많이 사랑했나 봐 사랑했나 봐 파랗게 물들어간 세상에 내게 손을 뻗어올 때면 내가 벗겨질 듯이 불어온 건 아마 너일까 내가 보고 싶어와 네 날 품에 안아주겠지 너랑 닮은 바람은 떠날 스쳐갈 뿐 널 덮지 않은 밤은 깊은 새벽 그 자락으로 날 데려가 여기에 떠오른 태양 아래 드러난 네 향기가 아른걸 숨을 참고 또 눈을 감고 끝없는 반복 다 끊어내려 안 가능성봐도 난 널 찾아 헤매이는 것 밖에 나 믿고 또 미워 그립고 그리워 잊혀지긴 싫어 내게 돌아와 지나온 나를 거꾸로 세면 날 볼 수 있을까 참 많이 사랑했나 봐 기다림 끝에 그대 온다면 내 마음 모두 모아 다 드릴 텐데 시간이 걸려도 약속한다면 계속 이 자리에 머물러 널 기다릴게 널 기다릴게 이 아픔마저도 그대라면 그것까지도 할게요 다시는 못할 사랑 그대라서 고마워요 언젠가 우리 마주쳐 우리를 추억할 텐데 말없이 웃으며 어깨 또 다가줘요
Oh, I thought that was just a break. I didn't realize it was just going to end there.
Yeah, it just ends there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, I got goosebumps. Song is so
I got a little
good.
bit too. That was interesting because I did miss the first half of the lyrics because I tried to watch the video and watch your reaction at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But that seemed almost like the opposite version of Fiction.
Yeah.
Where Fiction was very much about this love that they wanted, but they didn't know if they could have it. Whereas this one seemed more of like it was a very toxic relationship, but even then they still loved that individual. How they kind of wanted it back, but they knew that it wasn't best for them to go back to that relationship.
Mm-hmm. And of course, I could be reading into it a lot because of the timing of it and a little bit of the lyrics. It's almost also asking for fans to wait for them.
I can see that.
If you kind of read into the lyrics of like certain lines, obviously not the whole lyrics, but like certain like lines in that lyrics, it almost seems like they're asking the fans lights to wait for them. But of course, we didn't know what's gonna happen to a certain member, but but yeah, so that song, it's one of the underrated ones. I really wish they were able to promote it. It's so good. They probably could have gotten like a better goodbye to fans. I don't know, but I enjoyed that one.
I like that one.
Yeah, it has the reminiscence of Ribbon. And I know you don't know 12:30 by Beast, but when Yosub did that clock thing, it's also similar to the 12:30 move as well. So there was a little bit of connection to it and the sound of it as well.
If y'all can't tell, she's actually not so subtly giving me homework. That's what she's doing.
Hey, it's
I
not
did
as
like.
intense as Carrie doing IU for you, okay?
You mean that thing that I quit on about two songs in? Yeah. Anyways, no, and actually, speaking of the choreography, I like that they had such a simple choreography to it, because with
Mhm.
songs like this, a lot you don't usually get a choreography break.
Yeah.
Um, a good example of that would be, speaking of IU, her song "Your Sister's Got to Kill Me" because I'm going to get this wrong.
Oh no.
Um, "Love Wins All," I think is the name of the song.
Yeah, Love Wins All. The one that we all
Uh,
cried over.
Yes, because I remember when we were at the IU concert, while we were waiting for her to come on stage, they actually had a loop of her music videos going.
Mhm.
And Love Was All kind of gives me the same vibes as Love, because it has the same melancholy ballad to it. And at no
Mhm.
point does IU have a dance break during it.
Right.
Uh, Granted, she's a solo artist, so it probably look a little weird if she was up there dancing in a melancholy song by herself. But the fact that they were able to include a dance break in this, but also it somehow fit the song, even though it was much more of a ballad
Mhm.
versus what you normally would perform choreography to.
Yeah, and I like I mentioned with the EDM choral drop, I think with the EDM sound, it helps them have that little bit of choreography as well. Whereas if it's just like a full on ballad, I don't think it would work out as well.
True. And thank God it wasn't like Vix's error, because I would have had to walk off
Mm.
screen, because y'all ain't seen me cry.
Just in the corner, you hear him.
Oh no, I'll mute. I'll do everything. You'll just see me get up and be like, "I'm done."
Just flips everything.
Yep. It's just my camera upside down.
Oh, we might see the cats just walking by.
Yeah, like what the hell? Ah. All right, so now we're actually entering the highlight era that I'm actually familiar with.
Mhm.
Um, I will admit to everyone, I have seen both of these videos. I know both of these songs. But the whole point of what we're trying to do is not only introduce me to this stuff, but we also want to be that bridge between old and new for newer fans, or even older fans who gave up after Beast. So just fair warning, these next two parts are for you guys. They're not for me.
So the next one would be Not the End, which I'm pretty sure TJ knows a little bit about.
Now,
Just a
TJ
little.
knows quite a bit about this, actually.
Nice.
Well, I know the song and I know the video. I don't know the meaning or anything behind it.
So the album that they came out is called The Blowing, which Not the End is their title track of May of 2021. And was released after a 2 to 3 year hiatus from all the members doing military service. Obviously during that time, Kikwan had his solo albums come out. Yosub did too, and I believe Dujun came up with one as well. This also marks their first album without Jun Hyun because he left during the Burning Sun scandal. And while I could be reading too much into it, they have this line called "I'm still here. It's not the end," which shows that Highlight as a whole is still here. It's not the end. This is just the beginning of that. Especially after they left for 2 to 3 years. Because of their hiatus, the music trend has definitely changed. And to keep up with the times, I've heard that Dongwoon and Kikwan has done a lot of research in quote unquote keeping up with the times with music trends. So you can hear it in the song, but they've definitely done their best to where they add some synthesizer backtrack to it, mix their vocals into it, which helps add their personal color to it, and just bringing it all together and make it so relatable to now where it's not a boring listen whatsoever. Lee Ki Kwan, he actually wrote the lyrics to this song, which makes it a little bit more
Oh,
it makes it more personable as well. He has a hand in producing this as well. So I believe he helped with the backtracks too, which turns in the end it turns out for the better because all the research he's done with it to keep up with how music is now or how it was in 2021 to if you compare it all the way back to like Beast Days, like they're obviously trendsetters as well. So yeah, no English subtitles for this. I don't know why.
하늘 걸어 모두가 날 떨어 더 힘들 거라고 얘기했어 그래서 뭐 난 너를 믿어 추운 겨울 가면 봄이 올 거라고 당연하게 믿는 것처럼 우리 함께 했던 순간들 잊지 못할 너의 모습 이 자리에 남아있어 내게 멈춰버린 시간들 얼어붙은 날 깨워줘 I'm still here, it's not the end
Not to be that person, but considering that this is kind of a more slower, more melancholy song. Well, I guess it's an upbeat song.
Yeah.
But is it really appropriate for Keyquan to have his titties hanging out?
Yes, it is, because it is Keyquan.
And again, don't get me wrong, I'm a Keyquan bias, and I do appreciate a good body, but I'm just like, sir, is this the time and place?
It is for Keyquan.
Also, I wanted to mention this in the last one, but I forgot to. They try so hard to make Yo Man look like he's tall, like all the other members. And you see it so much in the beginning of this video because you can see that the camera is clearly lower to the floor to make him seem like he's taller.
Exactly.
And again, it's not like he's woozy or anything.
Oh, no. I know, right? But if you compare it to the other members, he's short.
You can see it in this shot right here because here he is. If you can see my mouse, itty bitty. And then here's the next member right
I know,
here.
right? He's like right behind him, still taller.
I'm still here 끝이 보이지 않는 기다림 혼자가 익숙해진 이 자리 Where are you 널 부르고 있어 오직 너 말고 두 눈을 가린 어둠 속에 갇혀버린 맘이 Where are you I'm still here it's not the end
I never noticed until now that they have the it's not here, it's not the end at the bottom in English.
Oh yeah, I'm still here. It's not the end. It's at the bottom. Yeah, that's why it stuck out so much to me because I think there's an underlying message to it. Like, hey, we're still here. We're coming back. 눈 감으면 너의 손이 맞닿을 것 같아 날 부르는 네 목소리 이렇게 서면 내게 멈춰버린 시간들 얼어붙은 날 깨워줘 I'm still here, it's not the end Still here, it's not the end I'm still here 끝이 보이지 않는 기다림 혼자가 익숙해진 이 자리 Where are you 널 부르고 있어 오직 너 말고 두 눈을 가린 어둠 속에 갇혀버린 맘이 Where are you I'm still here it's not the end 지금 나에게 어느새 이곳에 넌 불어온다 지금 네가 불어온다 내게로 따스한 바람 날 스칠 때 네가 걸어온다 I'm still here, it's not the end Still here, it's not the end I'm still here, it's not the end So good.
So good. I don't know what it is, but that small little musical break between Kikwang, when Kikong sang, and then before Yosab sang, when they
Mm-hmm.
did the choreography of them in a circle,
Yeah.
something about those notes together, I don't know, gave me chills. I don't know what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I tried not to laugh while we were watching this because it has nothing to do with the video, but I
Mm-hmm.
had a random story that popped in my head while we were watching,
Mm-hmm.
which relates to Highlight. Because I mentioned Kikwan showing off his body, which
Yeah.
good for him. But I don't know why, but I randomly thought about last year. I think it was when Body came out,
Okay. Yeah.
and they were doing all the promotional photos and stuff of that. And I just remember you getting so mad because here was Yosab, yo man, in a crop top,
Oh
showing
yeah.
off his abs. And I remember getting a message from you, or I think you posted it on Instagram, your story actually, and you
Probably
said
yeah.
you were like, I was a beast beauty for all these years, and you never once show body, and now you do. What is this personal attack against me?
Yeah. It was during their the one that came after, not the end, the blowing, is Alone. That's the in
Okay.
between song they had between before they start promoting Body. Yeah, Alone is the one where he just decided I'm gonna do a crop top, and I'm like, yo, stop, why? the, the inside joke I have with one of my Etsy friends back then, and I got her into K-pop as well, because this is back when Beast was still happening. They don't show off their bodies as much. Kikon was the face, so he was more known to be the one with the like the better body of the whole group, and he always
Right.
like shows up his abs, that sort of thing. And then there was like this clip where it was, I think it was like their fan meeting at the time. They were like, if we can get, I think it was like this many streams or like or something like that, we will show Yosup's abs. And Yosup's like, I don't got abs. And then like someone replied with like, you're a liar. I saw you working out the other day. And then like during the fan meeting, I think they had it to where like, it's time. We did it. Like we had this many likes or something like that. It's time for Yosef to show his abs. And like he turned around, he like lifted his shirt a little bit to kind of look. He's like, I don't know if it's good enough or not. And then like someone like forced him to turn, and you see a flash of it, and everyone's like, and my friend saw it, and she was like, "Those are pork chop abs."
Which I never heard that term until like 2 weeks ago when you said it for the first time. I was like, I'm sorry, sir, what? What?
Pork chop abs. It's an inside joke. It was kind of like, it's not as defined, right, as Keyquan's, where it's like the defined 6-pack abs. It's like it's a little bit still a little squishy, but
Which, if any of my fellow Keyquan stands have not seen, go watch Predator because that's basically just a giant ab show for us Keyquan stands.
oh yeah, it definitely is. It definitely
But I
is.
just
But
remember
yeah,
when your old man trapped in a little boy's body showed his abs, and you were so mad and
oh
going off
yeah.
on on Instagram. Which,
Mm-mm.
side note, I also, because
Mm-mm.
I'm petty and I like to know things. Apparently, Yosab is only 5'7", so he's not even short.
Yeah, no, he's not. He's not that short. I believe this is when Korean Music Festival in LA was still happening, and they did have Beast come one time. And one of the beauties I've met also stands Yosop, and she managed to get politely managed to get a photo with Yosop, and she's around 5. I want to say like 5'8", 5'9". She's actually pretty
Okay.
tall for an Asian girl, and she did play basketball for a while too. She took a photo with Yosop, and you can tell like he was obviously short, like just by an inch or two. But then I was just like, she's 5'9". How short was he then? So yeah, but he's
When I
not
looked,
that short, to be honest. He's
no, and
average.
apparently Kikwan is only 5'8". He's
Okay,
not
yeah,
much taller.
yeah,
So, I mean, comparatively, I'm literally half an inch in between both of them because I'm five
yeah.
seven and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So he's literally Bang Chan's height. The only problem is that every other idol in Korea is 8'2",
8'2".
which now I'm thinking about when Stray Kids had to lower the mic at the award show, and then I think it was Tae Yang who came up after, and he literally had to look down. He was like, "Oh, hold on, give me a second."
He's just like, really line. And honestly, I think Taeyang is Taeyang or Taeyang.
I don't know. I don't know who either one of them are.
Taeyang's the guy in Big Bang. Taeyeon is the girl from Girls' Generation.
It was a guy.
Okay, so Taeyang.
Oh,
Taeyang's
I know who
actually
Taeyeon is. I'm
yeah.
an idiot.
Oh, good. But
I literally own an
Taeyang.
album of hers.
But yeah, no, Taeyang is the shortest in Big Bang. So then you have to imagine compared to it now, like how tall T.O.P is, because T.O.P is the tallest one of that whole group.
It's just wild to think about, because Korean males are obsessed with their height.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of funny to think about. I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you, but do you know what the entire concept behind SF9 is?
No, I don't.
They're all tall boys.
That's it.
Like, so there's a history.
So the company went, we want tall boys requirement at least 6 feet.
Pretty much. I think the shortest member is I think the shortest member is 5'11".
Oh my god!
And then the tallest member is Lawoon, and he's like 6'2.5", 6'3", and he's like the second tallest K-pop idol in the entire industry.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, and of course, there's more history with SF9 and all that. Their whole thing is not that they are tall boys, so I don't want Fantasy to come after me and be like, no, they're so much more than that. But that is literally what their entire concept is. They're a whole bunch of tall, model-esque boys. And when, again, the shortest member is 5'11", whereas you have, that's the tallest Stray Kids member. Hyunjin is 5'10", 5'11", and then you have Changbin, who I think is like 5'6".
Yeah, average.
And then poor Woozy, who's 5'5" and is the shortest male idol out there.
It's okay, Woozy. We love a short king.
Yes, and you have your 6'2" golden retriever bodyguard who is not very good at guarding anybody, but
he clumsy. It's okay. But yeah, so that's not the end. It's one of my favorite one. I think, in my opinion, one of the greatest comebacks you can have after a military service with a great, underlying message to it. So I really love that song. See that. All right, and the last one, which would be their latest comeback, would be Body. This is the era where they showed how much of an ajushi they're becoming. I mean, this is a nostalgic feeling because variety shows now are so different compared to 2008 to 2009 era. Back then it's super corny. They're doing impersonations of different celebrities. They're doing a bunch of random stuff. This whole music video just shows them still being, mature with their vocals, but also showing how they're just getting older. It is what it is. Choreography is a little bit simpler, and they're just old men. That's all I can say about this music video. They're just old men, but the tunes of it is super catchy. Again, keeping up with the times, but also having that hint of their variety skills as Beast in the past. So
I'm gonna need you to stop saying old men, considering I am literally 2 days older than Yosab.
Oh my god.
I'm starting to feel a little bit attacked.
I mean, think about it. They're still in this industry and they're in their 30s now. They're still doing great, but you can tell they're just like, we want to keep doing music, but we're tired of these hard choreographies. We're just gonna do this. We're just gonna stare at the camera.
Still got it. I mean, look at it. JYP's still going.
Yeah, he's still going. I mean,
should he be? We're not going to discuss that because I don't want JYP to sue me. But I'm really excited for this one because this was technically my first introduction into Highlight. Again, kind of like with Bouncy, it was on all the reels at the time.
Oh, yeah. Look at them stretching. They're such old men.
Yosab, I just defended you, my dude. I just defended you, my Capricorn brother, and look at you.
I need to do those stretches in the morning too. Shake your body, your body, your body, right? Don't let it get to your mind. Shake your body, your body, your body, right? We gonna party tonight, alright?
다른 나를 원하지 Let's go to paradise 걱정은 말고 Fly up the sky 너와 함께 너를 위한 all my love It is up to you Shake your body, your body, your body right Don't let it get to your mind Shake your body, your body, your body right We're gonna party tonight, alright 날 따라 make it simple 다른 건 다 비워놔 그저 맘대로 everything tonight 너만이 나의 모든 일 테니까 나를 발을 맞춘 이 순간 Move your body 판타지 모든 조건이 Tell me what you need 모든 리듬이 내게 맞춰진 우리만의 플레이리스트 빈틈조차 하나 없는 feel 꼭 맞아 너와 난 이 음악처럼 너를 위한 all my love It is up to you Shake your body, your body, your body right Don't let it get to your mind Shake your body, your body, your body right We're gonna party tonight, alright 날 따라 make it simple 다른 건 다 비워놔 그저 맘대로 everything tonight 너만이 나의 모든 일 테니까 나를 발을 맞춘 이 순간 Move, so come on
Do y'all see her secondhand embarrassment going on here?
Because it's so corny. He freaking missed the ball. And he was like, yeah, I got it. It's like those dad jokes, you know? You can't help but just laugh and also get secondhand embarrassment by it.
If you're one of our listeners who usually listens to the stream and doesn't watch the YouTube videos, I really suggest watching at least these 2 episodes because while it's a blind watch for me, Anne's reactions are the best because she's like, oh God, why have I opened this Pandora's box again?
I know. It's like, oh my God. But I mean, kind of sidetrack, but also relate to this music video. I love the camera work from it. It shows, again, it shows how corny it is. And just like dad vibes. It's that typical dad vibe to it.
Well, you saw me when, I don't know the other 2 members' names, but when the guy with the long hair was singing and the other 3 members were in the background acting a fool, and you kind of saw me go, wait, what the hell is going on?
And I'm just like, they're just being them. This is normal. but showing to you, I'm just like, you don't know them like I do.
I do want to praise their stylist. One, I like the Kingsman vibe that they have.
Yeah.
But so far, this is the first video that we've seen that I think they actually look their age.
Yeah. Like suits and everything.
Suits and everything, especially with Yosab, because he's got a weird facial structure. I don't mean that in a bad way.
Right.
You know, my nickname for him is the old man trapped in the little boy's body. The reason that I say that is because he's got a face that is very mature, but also very youthful at the exact same time.
Right.
One slight issue that I've taken with a couple of the videos is the fact that they try to make him look younger than he is with like the hats and the jackets and stuff.
Yeah.
And I like, especially when he's in the vest with the rolled up sleeves, that you can actually tell that this is a guy who's you may not be able to tell that he's 34, but you can at least tell that he would be maybe mid-20s.
Right. Yeah. Show off like his arms a little bit more, which I think is better than like fully covering up. Like if you see the YouTube video right now, that pause that TJ is on right now, you can tell, I can see what TJ is trying to say with his face. He has one of the smaller faces in the K-pop industry, which I think is the reason why you're saying like he has that weird structure to his like face. It's the head in general. He has a smaller head.
Which now that you mention it, I can see it in this screen.
Look at the body proportion. Like look at Keyquan's, right? It's quote unquote normal head size, right? And then you look at Yosab, he obviously has a smaller head.
Yeah, and at first I was like, oh, maybe it's the angle, but I see the other 2 members.
No. It's the proportions.
But I do like, even when he's in that fluffy, fuzzy yellow jacket, they didn't add like a page boy hat or something like that would try to de-age him a little bit. So I don't know who the stylist was on this video, but praises to you because, like Anne said, they're trying to show the fact that they're still here, but they are juices at this time. So let them look their age, and I really appreciate
Yeah.
that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go back a little.
So come on.
How have I never noticed the trumpet until now?
Come to me, 가까이. It's alright, it's alright. Just right now, show me your love. 이 밤이 터질 듯이 다스려. Shake your body, your body, your body, right. Don't let it get to your mind, get to your mind. Shake your body, your body, your body, right. We gonna party tonight, alright. 날대로 make it simple. 다른 건 비보나. 그저 맘대로 everything tonight. 홀로 마음이 내 모든 이유일 테니까. 하루하루 맞춰 이 순간. Move your body.
Stop it. There we go.
Yeah, so that was Body, which is the one that TJ probably knows the most.
Yeah, which is kind of funny because I've seen this video a few times, but there are a few things that I didn't even notice on this watch, like the trumpet. And then I didn't even notice, and I've heard this song over and over and over again, but I didn't notice that Yosab actually gets featured a lot more in this than he has in previous songs. You know, it's a trend with a lot of K-pop groups that like you have the one member that always starts the songs off.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mentioned in the new Stray Kids comeback, which I'm not the biggest fan of their newest album.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it was weird that JYP or 3ROCHA, whoever made the decision, decided to sub Changbin out for Felix this time.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Because it's usually Changbin that starts all the songs, and with Highlight, it's clear that Kikwang is the one who starts out most of the songs.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't even notice until this watch how Yosab had his long note. The members started singing again, but you could still hear Yosab going on the backtrack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think what also helped, if you compare it to previous songs, obviously they had 6 members, right? They started with 6 members, so you're dividing the line distribution down, right? And then on top of that, when they became Highlight, now there's like 5 of them. I think you also mentioned before how like Kikwang was not as featured as before back then, even though he is the face of the group and everything. But now that it dwindled down to 4 members, he's featured just a little bit more, you know, not just like body wise, but like vocally as well.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, and of course it's a lot easier when you have smaller groups, but it was nice that in this one we got to see, I mean, all the members got featured quite a bit.
Yeah.
I do need to learn the other 2 members' names. I probably should do that. But it was nice, I guess, because I'm your best friend and I'm like, you know how K-pop besties are, that I got to see your man get a little more of a spotlight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I definitely appreciate. But yeah, as you can see in that whole music video, their age is not showing because they still look really, really young and everything. But you can tell by their choreography. Like compare it back to like Bad Girl days to now. It's much more mellow. It's much more easier. It's just them swaying back and forth.
Well, I'm gonna argue with you a little bit on that. Mm-hmm. Because one thing that I noticed and that I liked, and I'm glad that you brought this up because I was looking for a segue, mm-hmm. was I like that they start off stretching, they sway back and forth, they snap.
Mm-hmm.
But after that bridge, they show you, no, we do what we do. Like their mm-hmm. choreography got amped up to an 11 real quick.
Oh yeah, it did.
Because it started out really slow, really cheesy and all that. But no, they still were throwing moves around. They mm-hmm. were like, yeah, we may be older, but you guys got to remember, we're still Beast. We may get older, but it doesn't mean we stop.
Yeah, the footwork during that dance break was really good too.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I like that one. But yeah, so that is pretty much a retrospective of Highlight. Obviously, they're still active. They're still going on. I can't wait to see what they're doing. They did just finish their Lights Go On Again tour, which I wish I could see. Why can't they put it in theaters? Okay. So mad. Let this be out on DVD. But anyways, yeah, they're still going. I can't wait to see what they're going to come up with next. Because Kwan did have a hand in Not the End, and we can see his capabilities as a producer and a lyricist. I don't know who did Body. I should have done research on that. But I mean, they're the CEOs of their own company. They can do whatever they want within reason.
No, they could probably do whatever they want still. I feel like they've been around long enough that they could just do whatever. Also, according to the internet, none of the members had a hand in Body. It was
Oh, go ahead.
KZ, Jung Yoon Ji, Kim Tae
Mhm.
Young, Highbird, G1, and MLC.
Okay. So
I
they
don't know any of
definitely,
those names.
yeah, I don't know any of those names. So obviously they hired someone in their company to do it. I'm gonna give credit where credit's due, but Yeon Jun Hyun, no matter how bad the scandal is, he is one of the greatest producers in my opinion. He
Right.
he helped so much with Beast and Highlight in the very beginning, producing songs like this. Because anytime his rap verses come out, it's so good. It just makes me so sad at the same time. So he really did help a lot to the group. He contributed so much to it. But I think Highlight now with 4 members, with just Doojun, Kwan, Yosop, and Dongwoo, they're doing just fine on their own as well. So yeah. So again, this is the retrospective of Highlight. I did not include. They have a lot of songs, but I did not include Alone because while it did showcase a little bit of darker side, higher vocals, all these things, I just want to show how they're just becoming older, more mature, more of a not middle-aged men because now the life expectancy is a little bit higher now, but just how I'm gonna throw shade. This is gonna be so bad, but how Super
Again,
Junior can
remember
be.
that we are just a couple of days older than Highlight. So remember, whatever you say about them applies to us as well.
But I'm just saying the way where like once you reach that age in the K-pop world, right? You should have that certain where you reach trot level. You should be doing trot, right? But they're keeping it young, they're keeping it fresh. So that's what I love about them. They're just growing and maturing, but in the greatest way possible. So yeah.
Right. I can definitely say I'm more of a light than I am a beauty, just because you know how hard it is for me to get into second gen.
Yeah. Especially
Which I'm
when they're
still,
not active, Most of these are not
yeah,
active. They're not doing old songs. They're doing whatever they're coming up with right now or just not doing anything.
right. I mean, I still wonder to this day, like, how did I even get into Wonder Girls? Because they are so not my vibe whatsoever.
Hmm. I
Uh,
think it's that 70s feel, though. They have that
yeah,
retro sound, which makes it super unique.
definitely. But I'm hoping that everyone who was able to join us for these two can see where we get half of our name from.
Hmm.
Because when we were discussing what to name ourselves, which you go through AI and all that, and you're like, oh, let's think of a couple of things. But I had suggested to Anne, the whole point of this is taking our roots, reintroducing them, and then creating that bridge between what we have now. And so I was
Exactly.
like, so why don't we basically pay tribute to the two groups that got us to where we are to this day?
Exactly. And honestly, Beast is like, okay, I'm a hottest. TJ knows that I'm a hottest. I do love 2 p.m. But Beast, I think, is the only group where I had actively kept up with when they were active at the time.
Right.
2 p.m., I kind of fell off a little bit. I'm sad to say it's only because of that Jay Park leaving the group scandal thing. The response to it was not that great. And it did affect me a little bit. So I did went back to Beast to kind of quote unquote get me through the dark times. I did go back to 2 p.m. of course and everything, but Beast was actively there for most of my K-pop journey.
That's actually kind of funny. Again, going off on a tangent, but you mentioning 2 p.m. and all that,
Mm-hmm.
because me getting into 2 p.m. is the exact same way I got into Highlight, because
Oh
I
yeah,
met a member through
for
a
acting.
drama.
Yeah,
It was your bias, whose name I can't remember.
as Chansung.
Yeah, and he was in Startup, wasn't he?
No, not startup. It was the What's Wrong with Secretary Kim.
That's right. He was in What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, and
Yeah.
then ironically, like with Highlight, my first song that I heard by them was their last comeback.
Oh my god, that's right. It was
Because it was Make It.
yeah.
And I remember again, it was like with Ki Kwang, I was watching What's Wrong with Secretary Kim, and I was like, why does this guy look familiar? She goes, oh my god, that's my man from 2 p.m.
Exactly. Oh my god, it's so funny. But again, it just shows how many idols are actors too, and
Right.
vice versa. Yeah. So yeah, that is hilarious.
Man,
Oh,
that was
man.
some good times.
Yeah. I mean, that drama's so good though. It's really good.
Oh, it is. It's definitely. I mean, it's my top for a reason. If you guys have not watched it, please watch it. If you liked Marry My Husband, it's got Park Min Young in it. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm. She's a great actress too. Still not better that we didn't see her at KCON.
You're going to bring up a whole situation of wounds. It's going to mention Aquafina and everybody else, and we're just going to get mad again. And then this whole episode's going to turn into a 3-hour rant about KCON, and it's going to be like, wait, this was about Highlight.
Oh no. Again, Highlight was not at KCON. But anyways. And so that's a wrap for another episode of Wonderful Beauty.
We hope you enjoyed our retrospective on Beast and listening to Anne ramble on about them. I'm sorry, Highlight.
All good. I mean, they reclaimed the rights for Beast, so we can say that they're Beast again, minus they're missing 2 members. But yeah, so don't forget to like, subscribe, comment. Are you a beauty? And you still follow them through Highlight, or did you not even know that they're still active? Some people think Highlight's a whole new group.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah. So apparently, I read this through Reddit, which, can be good or bad, but just really quickly before we go too off tangent and close this podcast. But a lot of people don't realize, they just thought Beast disbanded, that's it. And they thought because of the Jonghyun scandal, they just won't continue anymore. And then they see Highlight and they're like, they look familiar. Don't know where, but yeah, some fell off the wagon. So I just want to know if people are still keeping up with it, or if they just kind of fell off of it and realized that Highlight is Beast.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Our usual outro, I guess, doesn't really work here because we just went on a ramble. But you know what? I'm going to change it. Guys, go give Beast and Highlight a listen. That way, if you're someone who listens to us with every episode, you can kind of connect with us a little bit more. And down the line, we will do the exact same thing, but we're going to do it for Wonder Girls, so you guys can get to know us personally a little bit better. And if you think Beast was bad, wait till you see those videos for Wonder Girls.
We're going to go far back, man. Far, far back.
You'll get to see a lot of JYP.
JYPs.
All right, guys. Keep streaming your favorite K-pop idols, and we'll see you next time.
Hi.
흥건해진 밤이 보는 길 봐 우리뿐인 party 걸리적거리는 윗도리 다리에 이 본능은 설레 나란 보는 설레 Let's get down with me 이거는